ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Welcome to this segment of Khoj Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day, the recitation for the day. Gaudi Maj Mahalla Panjava, Har Raam 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 Raama, Jap Pooran Hoye Kama, ਰਾਮ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਜਪੇਂਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਆ ਮੁਖ ਪਵਿੱਤਰ, ਹਰ ਜਸ ਸੁਣੀਐ ਜਿਸ ਤੇ ਸੋਈ ਭਾਈ ਮਿੱਤਰ. ਸਭੇ ਪਦਾਰਥ ਸਭੇ ਫਲਾ, ਸਰਬ ਗੁਣਾ ਜਿਸ ਮਾਹੇ, ਕਿਉ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਨੋ ਵਿਸਾਰੀਐ, ਜਿਸ ਸਿਮਰਤ ਦੁਖ ਜਾਹੇ. ਜਿਸ ਲੜ ਲੱਗੀਐ ਜੀਵੀਐ, ਭਵ ਜਲ ਪਈਐ ਭਾਰ, ਮਿਲ ਸਾਧੂ ਸੰਗ ਉਧਾਰ ਹੋਏ, ਮੁਖ ਉਜਲ ਦਰਬਾਰ. ਜੀਵਨ ਰੂਪ ਗੋਪਾਲ ਜਸ, ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਕੀ ਰਾਸ, ਨਾਨਕ ਉਬਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪ, ਦਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਾਬਾਸ. ਜੀਵਨ ਰੂਪ ਗੋਪਾਲ ਜਸ, ਸੰਤ ਜਨਾ ਕੀ ਰਾਸ, ਨਾਨਕ ਉਬਰੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਪ, ਦਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਾਬਾਸ. Har Raam 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 Raama. It's a very striking structure of this pankti here, and very suggestive in this Rahau central message. Har Raam 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 Raama, Jap Pooran Hoye Kama. Very direct message. We have to understand what Har Raam 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 Raama, what is the repetition here? Har Raam 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 Raama. Let's break this down. It says Har Raam. The Har self is Ram. It is really a reflection of Ram. Raam Raam is an injunction to us to evoke the self, the supreme self. And Rama is Ram as the all-pervasive self. So the Har self is Ram, which is the all-pervasive Rama, my mind. Recite Raam Raam. Jap Pooran Hoye Kaam. By meditating on the self, accomplish your goal. So essentially, the transcreation is the Har self within is the essence of Ram, which is the all-pervasive supreme being. Meditate on the self through recitation and reflection, Raam Raam. Make your actions skillful so that the goal is accomplished and desires fulfilled. Now, the term Rama has been used to indicate the pervading being. There are at least 27 references to Rama in Gurbani, and they all refer to the essence that pervades everything. There is also the suggestion that Rama may indicate the mind or outer consciousness. The word Kama refers to action in a generic sense, but is used also to signify a religious practice, not to mention that it is indicative of desire as well. So when the Guru says Pooran Hoye Kama, we should understand that to mean to become an integrated personality, Pooran Hoye, or the accomplishment of a goal. And although the goal is not explicitly stated, it is to integrate, to become integrated as a personality. That's self-realization. So that is the goal, and it comes through uttering Raam Raam, which may raise the question of whether it is merely an act of repetition. As has been said before, it is quite common in the Indian context when we say to another person to reflect or to recite or to inculcate virtue or to remember Ram, we say Raam Raam kaho. There is this duplication. Raam Raam bol. So it is in that sense that Raam Raam has been used here. The idea being, as we've indicated, through recitation and reflection, it's a holistic process. So Raam Raam is not just parroting Raam Raam, but Ram is mindful recitation of Gurbani and then reflection on that Gurbani. And the Guru tells us what happens when we do that. He says, Ram Gobind Japendiyan Hua Mukh Pavitra. By reflecting on the self, here referred to as Gobind, who is all-pervasive, Ram, the mind is enlightened. Hua Mukh Pavitra. Har jas sunaya jiste soi pai mitra. From whom the glory of the Har self is heard, that one is my brother and my friend. So the transcreation for us is, they are your true friends and brethren, soi pai mitra, who give you intimations about the self. Har jas sunaya jiste. The pointer here is to the Gur. Through constant reflection on the self, Ram Gobind Japendiyan, the mind is enlightened. Hua Mukh Pavitra. And we'll see what enlightened means. Mukh, literally the face. It refers to the opening in the face, which is the mouth. Therefore, jap is associated with the mouth. It also means primary or the chief, mukhi. But here, it refers also to the intellect. Just as glory, fame, it also means intimation. So constant reflection on Gurbani makes the mind high-minded and noble. So Gurbani is the friend, the Gur Enlightener is the friend, because we get insight into the nature of the self and also the instruction on how to approach it. And then here again, why we should approach the Enlightener and Gurbani. Sabbe padarth sab phala sarab guna jis mahe. Where all desired goals come to fruition and all qualities are contained, kyun gobind mano visarya, jis simrat dukh jaye? Why forget that Gobind self? Why not bring it into our awareness, where it already is? And by doing so, dukh jaye, we erase all obstacles. So we've transcreated this to read, the self is the repository of all qualities, sarab guna. Everything precious is contained in the self, sab padarth. And the self is the source of all success, sabapal, sabapala. So why remain unaware of this source? Self-awareness in the mind will remove our obstacles. So why should we remain unaware and not cultivate this awareness? Now padarth, char padarth or padarth as has been used here, literally means a substance, a thing. It also means footwear. It also indicates a noun. Now in the Indian context, traditionally, 4 things or objects or goals, char padarth as they are known, are defined imperatives required for the fulfillment or fulfilling human existence. And these are dharam, arth, kam, and moksha, meaning moral imperative, economic fulfillment, satisfaction of desire, and freedom. These are the things it is believed that a human requires in order to lead a fulfilled life. And in Gurbani, these are also listed as Gyan Padarth, Mokh Padarth, Naam Padarth, and Janam Padarth, meaning knowledge, liberation, self-knowledge, Naam, and spiritual birth. So the achievement of these goals, Gurbani tells us, is best obtained with self-awareness as the guide. You cannot achieve these goals satisfactorily if you act out of ego consciousness. So what the Guru is really instructing us is, yes, these are indeed our primary goals, but they have to be pursued with wisdom. Attachment or becoming embroiled in them is what really is our undoing. So have that wisdom, cultivate that wisdom, and then pursue these goals. And speaking of the Guru, it goes on to say, Jis lad lagiye jeeviye, pavjal paiye par. Two things happen. Holding on to whose sash, lad, a piece of cloth, a waistband, if you will, or something that you sling across the shoulder. The idea here is that you're hitching yourself. One end of that cloth is with the other, and you are hanging on to the other end of that cloth, meaning you're attaching yourself, you're hitching yourself. So it says, Jis jad lagiye, holding on to whose sash, jeeviye, is revitalizing, pavjal paiye par, and also carries me across the frightening sea. So hanging on or tagging on to this thing, entity, embodiment, or text, which will carry me across, meet that Gur enlightener. Mil sadhu sang udhar. That is the enlightener. That is your enlightener. And with that enlightener, udhar hoye, growth happens. Mukh ujjal, the mind is made radiant. In other words, it becomes knowledgeable. And darbar, the threshold. Darbar means the court of a king or a ruler, but it signifies being in the presence of the ruler of the universe, the creator. It is talking about universal consciousness. It is talking about the state of a mind where one is completely immersed in universal consciousness. And this is a state that has to be experienced. It cannot be talked about because language is very limiting. So no matter what is said about it, it remains something that has to be experienced. So seek out the Gur enlightener, Mil Sadhu, in whose presence the mind is made radiant. What that means is that the being, the individual, evolves, udhar hoye, to universal consciousness. So hitch yourself to that sash of teachings and invigorate the spirit and learn to negotiate your passage through life with success. Pavjal paiye par, crossing across. And in conclusion, Jivan Roop Gopal Jas, the glorification of the life-giving self, Sant Jana ki ras. This activity of glorification, of singing to the qualities, which really means cultivation of these qualities, is the capital that the seekers trade in. Sant Jana. The Gur, he trades in this capital, qualities, virtues. Nanak ubre naam jap dar sache sabas, says Nanak, through self-reflection, the mind evolves to the verge of supreme consciousness. So the devotee seeks to glorify the beautiful source of life, Jivan Roop Gopal Jas, and the Sant Enlightener trades in self-knowledge. So this is a natural connection. One is seeking, the other trades in that commodity. Well, hitch yourself to the one who is trading in that commodity. And the Guru concludes by saying, praiseworthy are those who engage their minds in meditative reflection on the self. So that is the key, meditative reflection. And when that is done, the mind grows in consciousness to the dawn of true wisdom. On that note, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.